All right.
Camisetas baratas.
Welcome to Deep Night Revelation. We will be picking up where we left off last week. We are down a couple of players. We are down Will, who plays Sarda, and we are down Jack, who plays Mel. Jack has his daughters in town, and we're not sure where Will is. Hopefully everything's okay. But anyways, we will be picking up where we left off last week. These guys have discovered a Droyne. In this case, like a pyramid temple type thing on the surface of a frozen star, and uh, Bocephus used telepathy to convince some of the Leviathan space whales, or one of them in particular, to take one of the utility boats into its mouth and take them down to the surface of the star, because the surface gravity is 12 Gs. And so they then use the exploration suits to kind of trundle their way from the mouth of the space whale to the entrance of the temple, and they've gotten inside and they've discovered there's some like engravings on the ceiling that were left by the Droyne. In fact, I'm trying to find that. It's here somewhere. Oh, I bet it's in here. Aha, yes. This is the Droyne monument carving that's on the ceiling, and that depicts that the Leviathan are going into basically they are incubating inside the brown dwarfs of the system. The system has three brown dwarfs that all orbit around this frozen star. They also learned that there is apparently something uh, in the frozen star as well, something of huge proportions, and this is evidenced by some of the telepathic messages they got from the Droyne carvings that they had seen or had noticed that there was something dying or in this frozen star when they arrived. So whatever's been there has been there for at least 300,000 years and possibly longer. Maybe it's a really gigantic Leviathan. Nobody really knows. But they're continuing to explore this single chamber of this large pyramid that is at least a kilometer tall. Before we get started, we'd like to thank a friend of the Greenwater Guildhall. None of these are sponsorships or partnerships of any kind. They are just products that we really like. And tonight we would like to thank Fable Beard Company. Fable Beard makes wonderful beard products such as oils, balms, butters, co-wash, beard wash. They've got all natural deodorants. They've got spray-on colognes. And all of their scent profiles are a different fantasy character. They also have a women's line under the FableBeauty.com address. Things such as body frosting and facial scrubs and hair tonic serum and shave serum, um, perfumes. They've got all sorts of stuff. And like I said, they are all different fantasy characters. Tonight I'm wearing Dr. Wolf's Beard Butter. It is a light blueberry and pipe tobacco scent. Very nice cologne type scent. Very light. But they have a bunch of different scents, so I suggest reading through. They've gotten better about putting their the description of the scent profile, first thing, so it's easy for you to look it up and find them. And they have a bunch. Uh, they do have a buy one get one free. So if you are a first time purchaser, you can go to fablebeardco.com and create an account. And then when you check out, you can put two beard oils in your cart. And when you check out, use the code FIRST in all capital letters. And that will get you your second beard oil discounted to free. We also have a store via Zazzle for merchandise. We've got hoodies and t-shirts and buttons and a beer stein and there's a Whiskey Rocks glass and there's poster maps. There's all sorts of stuff. And 100% of the proceeds from that store goes back into our channel. It helps us cover things like Incarnate Pro or the Roll20 Pro subscription, even the Wondershare Filmora software subscription. And all those little monthly bills that aren't that big of a deal until they all add together, and then you wonder how you spent that much money. So that store kind of helps offset that. If you want to help us out, go get yourself a T-shirt and a rocks glass, and we appreciate everything you do for us. So, so Pappy, you are at the top of initiative. Where did you want to go and explore in here?
As much as I want to run right for that altar, I feel like I kind of want to do a lap around this room just for recon's sake.
Okay.
Like, kind of want to just. What is I can move?
So you
One,
can.
2, 3,
So
4,
with a
5.
minor action, you can remove 4 of these, I believe. Hold on, let me grab my measurement tool. 1, 2, 3. Yes.
Okay.
I
Is
mean,
this
you've got
the
3.
same as the-
Well, you've got 3 minor actions, so you could do that 2
Right.
more times if you wanted.
Okay. I would like to take one more to get up to this and kind of look at this statue kind of clearly.
Okay. So all of these statues depict they are depicting Droyne, and it appears that they are each one appears different. Probably to humans, one Droyne will generally look like every other. I know that sounds racist, but it really is true with Droyne. Because they are so like a mix between reptilian and reptilian and avian kind of mixed together. So it's really difficult. But closer inspection, you do determine that these 4 statues are all different Droyne.
Okay.
But there's not really any there's not really any markings or anything to say who they are or what they are or why they're. Nobody knows why they would be important enough for them to put them here, but clearly they must be something of a high rank. Now,
I mean, you got 4 Droyne around some central point. If I don't know nothing about the Droyne, I know enough about like civilizations. You put 4 statues of different things around something, they're
well,
probably important.
that was the question I just had. Go ahead and roll 2d plus your intellect. Your choice, either intellect or education. I don't know if you. I imagine you probably, being a pilot, you probably do have a good education.
My intellect is slightly higher than my education. Not by much, but it's more better.
Okay, well,
Actually, it's fine. Yeah, it's like higher by 4. My intellect's 1.
yeah.
Okay, so 2D plus 1. Boop, 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 boop.
5.
6. Really.
6 altogether. So.
You know, on a side note, on Roll20, they asked for suggestions, and I did mention a more stable dice roller with new skins, and they did respond that skins are on the way.
Yeah, they've been saying that for a while, because I said the same thing. Probably, I think it was last October. I want to say. Let's see here. So with a 6, you know some basic stuff about the Droyne. Specifically, you know that Droyne are there's society is caste based, and so the different Droyne, you may have heard their names, but essentially, you know them as, there's a caste of leaders, there's a caste of workers, there's a caste of warriors, and um, and you know that there's a caste of technicians, one thing that you do know, there is a kind of the final cast that is kind of outside the others. It is very different. Are called sports, or at least to humans are called sports, and that really sticks out in your mind because it's a very strange terminology. But they're basically it's a cast of Droyne that don't really fit in anywhere else, and so you are wondering if these are um, maybe leaders of these different casts, or possibly um, yeah, I guess leaders of different casts as far as how the casts operate in relationship to a crew of the Droyne exploration ship is probably your best guess.
Gotcha.
Uh,
Well, that's my turn. Should have
Bocephus,
probably looked at what this thing on the corner was. Oh well.
Bocephus, what would you like to
Um. Well, I've already gone up to the big central thing, and I think it was like a tribute to the
Yeah, well, so
to
the big central is a statue of a Droyne with their wings spread. That is something else that might puzzle Happy, is that not all not all Droyne that you have seen or that you've read about, you don't always see them with the big wings, and sometimes you see them with mechanical wings that you assume are like augments or a type of armor or something.
Gotcha.
So you're not sure, and some of these statues, their wings are kind of stunted. Others have their wings folded back, and they appear to be, full sized. So this central Droyne though has the big mechanical type wings, and they're spread, and at the top of the tip of those wings is a hologram of what you are assuming looks like the frozen star that you're standing on. And it does
yeah.
appear that, according to the hologram, that there is something at the center of this frozen star.
I want to try to connect with it the same way I've been connecting with the Droid technology. I want to put my hand on it and see what the fuck if it's got vibes. You know, does it?
Okay.
I don't. I've got skills in the Scion technology stuff. You know,
Right,
and I've got
Scientology.
the Sonic, but yeah. So I don't know if you want me to roll anything or you're just gonna do, but I'm just trying to figure out how to make their shit work.
Go ahead and
I got
make,
an idea about opening the airlocks.
go ahead and make a telepathy plus psi roll. You don't have to spend any points.
Okay. Telepathy being my one of my stronger ones. I guess my first place is tied for 3. 3 of them are the same. Oh, yeah, there we go. 6.
Oof. Oof. Snake eyes. So, so you kind of reach out and do what you've done with the doors getting in here, and any some of the minor ancient technology that you've run into so far that has been accessible has worked by doing this. But really, what you're getting back from this is this isn't this hologram isn't really something that that can be interacted with. It's more of a it's like a monument. It's just a recording of what they saw when they were here.
Okay.
But However, why is it doing this? I think there was an update again to Adobe. Damn it, Adobe. Yeah. So they updated and they removed enable scrolling for all of the PDFs. And I'm like, thanks, assholes, because now it locks it in page by page. So if you roll your mouse wheel, it's like ratcheting through like 100 pages. And I was like, no, I don't.
Right.
I do not want you to do that. So let's see here. That's interesting. I thought there would be something about psionics in the companion, but there is evidently not. Science, profession. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, you rolled snake eyes, but there's not really
Yeah.
anything to come from this. Um, the one piece of information that you do kind of get is that even the Droyne that were here don't know whatever this huge thing is in the middle of the frozen star, but there is the assumption that it is a Leviathan because looking up at the ceiling, they've already witnessed the younger Leviathan diving into a brown dwarf and kind of not coming back out. They're incubating. And so the assumption from this is that this is maybe another stage of the Leviathan life cycle, but you already know that Leviathan live for essentially to a human they would seem to be immortal.
Yeah, they're on a different time clock for sure. I don't think they're sentient enough to really, or at least not yet. Maybe this one, when it comes out, it might be.
Right.
But they haven't been sentient enough to really. Their long-lived lives have not been able to give it shit we can mine for information too well.
Right. So that's what you get back, Pappy. What would you like to do?
Now I'm curious about this glowing orb over here in the corner.
Hell yeah.
Okay. So
what is it?
So looking at this glowing, this is another little pedestal with a hologram on it. And this particular hologram is is animated, and it is essentially depicting the star system that is what this. I mean, if you can call it a star system, it is what the system is that you're in, with the frozen star at the middle. But go ahead and make a. Make a astrogation plus intellect or education check.
Astrogation. Time to find my astrogation. Astrogation plus intellect.
There you go.
Okay. Wow, you guys are
something better. Yeah.
You guys are.
We suck.
But you are able to determine. So this is essentially. It looks like the Droyne ran computer models of, and what it is, what this hologram is depicting, is this, and it's in a loop. It's showing how the system has changed over millennia, and part of that is that when the loop finally comes back around, the star's not going to be frozen anymore. and it's showing as a normal star, and then over time it just diminishes, and not like immediately, but it seems like there are cold spots that appear on it, and then you notice a time period where there's a large cold spot, and over time this star just diminishes down to becoming what it is today.
The star's like slowly dying or being eaten.
Um, Eaten is probably the closer word, or the closer thought process. Something is siphoning off the power from this star. Now there is your own sensor. So when you first came into this system, you didn't know what there was at the center. Excuse me. You didn't know what was at the center of the system, and because there's almost no thermal radiation and there's no visible radiation, the assumption was when you first got here that there was a black hole at the center. But then the sensor readings didn't come back like there was a black hole because there's no accretion disk. There's no black holes throw off a lot of radiation, and you're not getting that. In fact, you're getting the opposite. There's like no radiation. And so the determination was that this was a frozen star, which proved to be correct. And the scientific theories are that, a frozen star is technically possible, but none has ever been observed in our galaxy, and
we're seeing something new.
Yes, and two, the scientific theory goes that the conditions to create a frozen star would be technically not entirely possible because our universe isn't old enough yet. But here you are standing on one, so.
I think it's cooled out and making ice because the Leviathan is in the center of it, absorbing all the heat and incubating.
Right, and that was the other thing. The sensors, when you first showed up, after you got close enough and started to really focus in on this frozen star, is that you are detecting that there is some thermal at the very core. So, maybe there's a brown dwarf like at the center of this thing that is still smoldering, but something siphoning off all of that energy that a star gives off.
Right.
Something big. I mean,
yeah.
You have to think about how big a star is. And it does. The book doesn't say how big this frozen star is. It can't be that large if the surface gravity on the frozen star is only 12 Gs. I mean, obviously 12 Gs, it's big. But I wouldn't think that it would be too many solar masses bigger than our sun.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Because 12 Gs just doesn't sound like that much.
Maybe it's because it's being devoured that it's not bigger?
I mean, maybe. Technically, the gravity from a star comes from the fact that the mass at its core is so dense that, I mean, it's such a huge mass in such a small amount of space, is that's what's keeping the planets orbiting it. So I don't think 12 Gs would be. I think it would be significantly smaller than our sun.
This is a tiny little star that they're just numbing on.
Right. And there's something huge. I mean, that's still huge, but I mean, there's something big inside of the crust under who knows how many kilometers of star stuff.
Yeah.
Bocephus, what would you like?
I'm assuming that Sarda is taking his time to photograph and record everything in here.
Yes.
All
Yeah,
right,
you guys had
so-
said last time that he was recording everything.
All right. Well, if he's there on that one, I'm just gonna kind of, I'm gonna head over to this one and
Okay.
look at it and see if I can manipulate it in some kind of way.
Go ahead, make a. If you want to manipulate it like you have other technology,
Yeah.
then make a telepathy plus side check.
9.
There we go. So this hologram is also animated, but the information you do get information back in the form of a the typical Droyne, just like the Droyne carvings. You're getting the same kind of psionic information coming back, and essentially what this hologram is displaying and telling you is that it is the belief of the Droyne that this system with the frozen star at its center is the stellar nursery of all the Leviathan. This is their birthplace.
Oh,
Oh.
wow.
Yeah. I think we definitely need to take our turns going to these other 2 orbs, and then I think we've probably farmed this place out.
Probably, yes. Pappy, where do you want to go?
1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that's going to take a whole lot to get to the other one. It's going to take me a couple turns to get there because even at 4, that's like a lot of movement to get across the room.
Are you going down or right?
I was going to go right because one of us has got to go here anyway, and one of us has got because either like he's going to have to go up and then down. or I go
I'm
down.
cool unless you're thinking something's going to happen. I'm cool with just taking turns
Yeah.
exploring
Yeah,
different shit and not worried about walking.
Yeah, I agree. You're not in combat. You can just go over there.
Okay, cool. Wee.
It just seemed like it really string it out if we take
really
multiple
would.
turns to walk. Yeah.
Right.
And if we're not going to get jumped, it doesn't matter. But if you jump us, then,
So
it's probably important.
So go ahead and make a. Hold on, I'm just reading this. Go ahead and make a roll 2d plus your intellect.
Okay. Just a straight intellect roll then. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're making rolls now.
Yeah, that's good. So from this orb, it is basically a history of this temple, and you do actually get a telepathic message, and essentially you get a mild message. This Droyne that is in the center is the leader of the Droyne expedition that came through here 300,000 years ago, and by now you guys know this leader's name was Oiskrusk, and essentially he is saying, you followed me and I gave you this in return.
Like the knowledge?
Basically this temple and the knowledge, the knowledge that they have gained about the Leviathans.
Cool.
It's not clear to you whether he is speaking to the crewmates of these 4 statues, or if he's speaking to you, being somebody who found the temple.
Oh. Well, I relay that information over and be like, this is either built for them to find or for whoever comes after them to find.
Bocephus.
And we've got one more. So, right over here. And 11.
Nice. So you get a couple of different pieces of information from this. The first thing that you get from this is that I mean, this isn't shocking to you. This temple has no machinery or any way of generating power, and yet there are these holograms that are here. You know, it's the wonders of the ancients. But what you do learn is that this temple complex is slowly failing. It is slowly dying. Now that probably it will completely break down and collapse in a few million years. But it is
slowly.
Yeah, very slowly it is succumbing to age. The other piece of information that is embedded in this hologram is that it's kind of a log entry from the Droyne expedition, and evidently they were experiencing some issues with members of their crew wanting to turn around and go back, or to basically set up a colony on one of the worlds that they find.
Huh.
There's no real information on whether they did or how they would have gone about resolving this issue. But it seems that the Droyne expedition had very similar problems to Deepnight.
Okay.
It doesn't say anything about outright mutiny, which would be like tantamount blasphemy in Droyne culture. I mean, you just don't do that. But there is talk among the castes of the Droyne wanting to set up a colony on a suitable planet. They're tired of this traveling.
Yeah, and the thing is, they're not far from a great planet to live on. In the grand scheme of things, I mean, it was just a couple jumps ago that we had a great planet that made people mutant and want to stay.
That's true. Well, and they were there too.
Yeah.
They didn't stay there either.
No, they did not. Some of your crew did.
Right. It just makes me wonder which direction they may have been traveling. Are they going parallel to us, or are we going to the same destination, or are they coming from ground zero of what we were from?
It seems that you are following the path that they took.
Okay. And we've not seen any signs on hints on any kind of trail they may have suggested.
No. Well,
yeah.
I mean, so if you're following them, I mean, so they came out here before you did, and obviously, I don't think they knew where they were going. I mean, they knew where their destination was, but they had no idea on a path to get there. They knew they started at point A and they wanted to end up at point B, but all the dotted line. There were no dotted lines in between the two.
Right. Okay. Yeah, we're just in a choke point that raises our chances on touching the same spots they touched.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's pretty much all I got for this complex. Unless Pappy has more.
I agree. That makes the most sense to me. Like, we've done what we came to do. We looked at it. Now we're
Yeah.
going to go back into the heavy gravity and. I mean, unless there's like some secret somewhere on the floor that we somehow missed.
No. Nope. You found everything there is in here.
Yeah.
And you even found the crater with the
Yeah.
with the sleeping baby Leviathan in it.
Yeah.
So you guys get back into your spacesuits, into the exploration suits.
And began the tedious walk back.
Yes, and you begin your tedious walk back. Both of you can make a recon plus intellect check.
Mm-hmm. 9.
Nice. Oof. So both of you notice.
Pay attention.
So Bocephus immediately looks, and you see that your ride, your Leviathan, is not down on the surface anymore. But Pappy looks up, and you can see that the Leviathan is kind of circling overhead and is chasing some younger Leviathan. They appear to be playing.
He's like, our ride's gone. I'm like, yeah, it's up there. Playing?
Yeah, I mean they're acting just the same way that they did when Deepnight first came in, and the young Leviathan were trying to get it to trying to get your ship to chase them like they were playing with you.
Maybe flash a light at it or something. Try to get its attention.
You could, or you can use psionics again.
Yeah, I can. I want to try not using side points at first if I can. If that doesn't work, then I'll do psionic.
Okay. So you're gonna try to flash a light at it.
To catch his attention.
Right. Sure. Let's see here. It's funny, so they deep space creatures. They list the Leviathan in the campaign book, right? They don't give it any stats. I mean, everything is so massive. It's just like no, they just are, and so the one thing that you know, Bosif, is that they have a incredibly strong psionic shield, but it doesn't seem that their psionic shield has any form of intelligence controlling it. It's just there.
It's natural.
Right.
It's a reactionary thing.
Right. Nah, it doesn't seem to notice your light flash.
Then we do the telepathic thing, in which I got a 10.
Nice. So you are able to do a mind link, and go ahead and make a animal handling plus intellect or education.
Well, I have a 12 in education.
Yeah. So you are able to convey to it that you need it to come back down, and you're like, come here, boy, and give you guys a ride. And it does. It comes back down and once again nestles onto the ground and opens its massive mouth, allowing you to climb in and board your utility boat. And then you can make another animal handling check to tell it that you want to, I guess, go.
12.
Nice. Okay. So yeah, it closes its mouth and takes you guys off from the surface of the planet. And even in the mouth of this Leviathan, you guys are inside this utility boat, and like you can feel the G forces of taking off from this planet, or from not planet, star. It's like the deck plating is not enough to really cancel out all of those G's of leaving a 12G frozen star. But you make it up into orbit, and this thing opens its mouth. Pappy, you can make a piloting small craft plus dex check to vacate and go on your way.
Hey, let's. All right, y'all. Let's get on our way.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
this isometric map is funny because this icon doesn't really look like a door. It looks like the same icon they use in the standard maps for the bathroom. Like, why is there a bathroom on the wall? So, Pappy.
I mean, that's what I would want on the wall.
Well, I mean,
bathroom
so the bridge has a urinal on each side. It's like whatever.
Absolutely.
That's how you do it. So, Pappy does lift you guys off and heads you off into space towards back to Deepnight Revelation. Docking goes fairly routinely, and you are back aboard.
Is there a linguist officer or someone specialized in different languages and stuff?
Yeah, I would imagine there is.
And are they
I would think there
familiar
would
with?
have to be.
Right. That I agree, but I'm not going to tell you that there's one there.
Right.
I want to make sure that person, if they're currently not fluid in Droyne, they need to be under orders to fucking hit the books on that.
I would think that
Yes.
So if you guys brought a linguist, they would probably be they would probably be mostly fluent in Droyne. Of course, Trock, which is Aslan. I forget the name for Vargur, but they would know that. Probably also Hiver. And I'm probably going to butcher this name, but Zatel, which is Jadani. They would have access or would be at least fluent in all of those languages.
Okay.
So because those are Droyne are weird. So Droyne and Chirpers and Trojan Reach, also Tic Tics, are all really minor races in charted space, right? But
Right.
the Droyne are ubiquitous in that they are everywhere. They are. The biggest thing about the Droyne is they're everywhere, but they're not all the same. So you might show up to one planet, and the Droyne are living as, in small minor tribes that avoid technology and human contact. Then you might go to another star system and run into a Droyne starship that goes between worlds on trading runs. So you might run into one group of Droyne that are working at tech level 5, and then this other group of Droyne that are at tech level 12. I mean, there's no there doesn't seem to be any consistency. And chirpers seem to be either a subset of the Droyne species, or they could be their own species theoretically, but most people think that they are just a subspecies of Droyne, who are even more simplistic than the Droyne. And then, of course, you have the only planet these guys even live on are the Tic Tics, and the Tic Tics are even more simplistic in that they are very tribal, and they are not technologically active. I mean, about the highest level of technology that they know is that they can be taught to turn a ratchet and hammer in a nail. That's about as high tech as they get.
Yeah, well, we've run across remnants that suggest that some sects of them are way more advanced than us.
The one piece of information that you guys do have, and this is pretty widely known. I mean, any layperson would have picked this up via the Traveler News Agency, is that most of the ancient sites that have been excavated or found, they are finding that there are pieces of technology, or were pieces of technology, that were designed specifically for Droyne usage.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's believed that the Droyne were a servitor race, maybe, of the ancients, but nobody knows for sure what the ancients really looked like.
Okay. Well, I definitely want to give that linguist all this footage Sarda took, and I want as much of that translated as possible.
Okay.
Because there was a lot of writings and stuff on there,
Well, mostly it was not really writings. Take a look at this. A little bit better detail. This is the bulk of it, but this is very reminiscent of the other carvings that you've found.
Mm-hmm.
And the linguist, they've never seen Droyne writing like this. Now, it's possible that this is, it's possible that this is a form of communication that the ancients used. I mean, clearly it's psionic, but aside from that, as far as a writing system or even a pictograph system, the curves and lines and crosses and hatches, they haven't been able to discern it as any kind of actual language.
Okay. Worth a shot. I guess that's the system.
Right? Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But, where was I? Well, so you are all the way up here. So from here, while you've been off traipsing around on the surface of the frozen star, Deepnight's been refueling, and the space science team has kind of pointed their telescopes in the direction of the next jump, being let's see here. the next two jumps are technically DSR 7 and DSR 8. And what's interesting about this is that both are deep space refueling opportunities. DSR 7 appears to be a large cometary body, while DSR 8 appears to be a rogue gas giant. But the weird thing about it is that they are both traveling in the same trajectory, identical trajectories, following one another. DSR 8 is following DSR 7 in the same exact trajectory. And then they all appear to be coming from hold on here.
I mean, why
They're
can't
all-
we just jump?
They're all coming
to-
from DSA 2.
Oh. And why can't we just jump straight to DSA 2? I
Because-
mean, that's 1, 2, 3.
No. So from here to DSR 7 is four hexes. It's 4 parsecs.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's just
And then
a
it's-
simplified map.
It's another
Yeah,
1 parsec to DSR 8 where you will refuel, and then it's another 2 parsecs to DSA 2.
Yeah.
So, wait, hold on here. So they kind of screwed this map up a little. I believe. Yeah, this is, instead of DSA 2, this is supposed to be DSS 4, but whatever.
Yeah.
So anyways, so yeah, the space science team finds it very odd that these two are on an identical trajectory leading away from DSA 2. But that is the next jump. So let's see how they do. Astrogation. Well, that's pretty good. And jump. And you are on course for DSR 7. Now, you have 1 week of jump time. You can use it however you would like. How's Bocephus doing? Is he studying? Is he...
Man, I've got to stay on top of the ships. I got to stay on top of the counselor bit.
Okay.
I honestly don't think I have time to study. It's such an important thing, and it's already failed us. I really want to stick on top of that.
Okay. Okay.
I'm working on my athletics.
All right. You can add a week of study to athletics. Which athletics are you studying?
I
Endurance.
knew this.
Endurance, dex, or strength?
Probably Dex,
Okay.
because that's like what my actual. That's the one stat that actually has any points in it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So yeah, dex is a good one. I mean, athletics dex covers everything from, grabbing a ledge when you fall off a cliff, or to throwing a grenade. So athletics dex is kind of a good one to have.
Are you wanting some kind of psychology roll or something?
Yeah, go ahead and make a psychology plus intellect or education.
Okay. That's 12.
Nice. So, yeah. So oddly, you, through your counseling sessions throughout the week, you determine, so the encounter at DSA 1 with the Leviathan was kind of a morale boost for a lot of the crew members.
Huh.
They kind of see the Leviathan as a not just a spatial wonder of life that lives in space, but is kind of a good luck sign.
Like good omen type thing.
Yeah.
All right. I will spread the word that, members of the crew were able to bond with the Leviathan psyche, and we are on excellent terms with them.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, are you just passing that along as kind of like, rumor mill stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you just kind of let that kind of seep out, and go ahead and make
they're extreme animal sciences and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, you don't need to make another roll. They that kind of spreads amongst the crew, and also it has the intended effect of kind of boosting morale as it kind of goes along. That you've made contact, and so if you've ever played the game of telephone, the rumor kind of gets more and more grandiose by the time it comes back to you throughout the week, of that that the Leviathan are intelligent creatures, that they chose to help you in your mission, and far more than what they really are. But this is what a lot of the crew are believing. So
if it comes by me, I'm going to go ahead and exaggerate it too. I mean,
Okay.
and they were working hand in hand with the Droyne, and just to play the game. It's a silly human custom, but you have to do it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So coming out of Jump, so how many weeks of study are you at for athletic stacks?
I've got a ways to go.
Okay. So coming out,
I needed 2 periods total, and I've got at least another 3 weeks on this period.
Okay. That. Coming out of Jump, this is what you find for the cometary debris.
Another one of these,
So,
but a lot.
well, so Sense Ops does their scanning bit and comes back, after a few rather tense minutes, and they have determined that this is the right place. This is not a dwarf planet or an irregular mass of rock that they were expecting. Instead, it is a cloud of cometary debris. There are numerous planetoids that are anywhere from 10 meters to 100 meters in diameter. And remote analysis from their probes indicates there is water ice likely to be present, but it's dispersed throughout. And the bigger problem with this is that on any particular body, it's not all going to be in one spot. So a ship may have to land and basically suck the ice up and then hop, another 15, 20 meters to another 20 meters to another location to dump the hose in and suck up that ice. And they'll have to do this all throughout this cometary debris field.
We only need a J1 if we even really need to refuel at all, because we just did a J2 to get here.
No, that was a J4.
All right, then we just need a J1.
That's true. Yeah, this was 4 parsecs. That would be
Yeah,
another 1.
sorry,
to
yeah, the
GSR.
next one is 2.
Right. Correct.
Yeah.
So what
So,
you're saying is I'm gonna have to make quite a few piloting checks.
well, I mean, you guys have, a lot of pilots aboard. And so, I mean, it's up to you. But this is going to take several craft. And so the captain and the XO go ahead and authorize multiple utility boats to go out and begin this process. You can, of course, be a part of that, or you can monitor things from on the bridge. And so here are these utility boats that have launched out from Deepnight, essentially doing exactly this. What are your guys' plan?
Well, I mean, if Pappy's going to fly, then I'm going to go on his ship to provide medical care in case he wrecks.
Okay.
If not, I'm just going to sit here and participate on board activities to try to see how people are feeling.
Okay. What is your plan then, Pappy?
So you have all these different ships that are kind of going around. So I'm not like a person who would be like, "Hey, you fly here, you fly there," because that's kind of like not my role usually, right?
I mean, yeah, you're not really, commander air group. You are a commander of the mission division, though. I mean, you're kind of the lead pilot. So I suppose you could be
I
the
feel like
CAG.
I'd probably be better off like kind of watching them all if I am to be like, "Hey, watch out for this one. Hey, jump to that one." Like kind of mission plan this one out because I've dealt with this already. I'm used to it.
Right.
And I can kind of help them if they get in trouble from here. Well, I wouldn't be nearly as much use down there just one more ship gathering.
So
I could be like, hey, look out for that thing coming at you from over there.
So operations pretty much go as planned. For the better part of a day, and then you suddenly start receiving a distress call. So this distress call comes in. Excuse me. This cold is just kicking my ass. But so this distress call comes in. Evidently, one of this craft right here, they were bouncing around, doing what they're supposed to be doing. But and then this the person who is contacting you, what is her name? Her name is I wish they would hold it. So essentially what they were doing is they would land, the crew weren't even, the first time they landed, the crew disembarked. They hooked up the hoses for the ice. But then, rather than climbing all the way back into the ship, 4 of these crew members are hanging on the outside of this utility boat. 3 of them were tethered. The 4th one was not. And the well, this is, I mean, for EVA specialists that are in a hurry trying to get this stuff done so that the ship can keep going, this is pretty normal. And the person who is in distress.
It was the one that wasn't tethered. That's my WTF.
Well, yes, but Her name is Lynn Garishrak, and she is a stone cold professional. What happened was is the ship went to make a 200-meter bounce to the next deposit, and evidently they didn't land properly, and they hit too hard, and there's clearly some kind of damage. The ship bounced off. It threw her off. She impacted with the ice, breaking her leg. She tells you that she is injured. Her leg is broken. She then bounced off of this planetoid and is floating out in space. She says that she can see the ship, this boat is in a tumble. The 3 crew members that were tethered to the outside are now spinning around the ship. She says that it appears that there's some kind of power problem. She can see that their emergency lighting has come on in the cabin, but she can't see anything else. The crew that are spinning around it on tethers are attempting to climb up the tethers to get back to the ship, and they keep getting pulled back and snapped to the end of their tethers. Meanwhile, as it's tumbling, it and the 3 that are tethered are getting pummeled by chunks of ice and rock.
Right, like that's just all bad between the force of the spin, there's just a lot of bad going on there.
But she tells you that she appears to have broken her leg. She insists that she's fine. They're the ones that are in more danger. To help them first.
I actually agree with that assessment.
Make a recon plus intellect check.
We're headed out to save them, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Pappy, go ahead and make a recon. There we go. Okay. You start to get another distress call.
Shit.
So this one... You're gonna love that. Da, da, da. Oh my God, where's this guy's name? So this boat makes a sudden mad dash to try and save that boat, like at full throttle.
Ugh.
And there are 2 people aboard. There are 2 members aboard this boat. The captain of the ship is named Orland, and then his co-pilot. Well, Orland evidently isn't the shit-hot pilot he thought he was, because he bounces off of a large chunk that has cracked through the windshield, the front plate of the boat, and a spike of ice has gone through the windshield and through him. So he has a major tent rip. He has a major suit rip, and the cabin is now losing atmo, and his suit is losing atmo, and he is majorly injured and unconscious. And let's see, his boat is so his boat is out of control. The co-pilot is able to make a rather untidy stop, but he's requesting assistance. Orland is bleeding profusely. The cabin is depressurizing, and Orland's suit is compromised.
Yes.
Right, let me rename these. This is Orland's boat.
So
This is Lynn's boat. There we go. That's easy.
I think what would be better than saying as we got 2 distress signals now because one did stupid and another one did more stupid is to
Let's double down and fucking put the pedal to the metal and fucking go all out, balls to the wall. Hell yeah!
So the co-pilot,
I'm joking.
the co-pilot from Orland's boat, thinks that he can. He thinks that he can do exactly that, punch it, and make his way to Revelation.
get back to Revelation to at least like get them docked.
Well, that's what the co-pilot is saying. But with your recon check, you are detecting that this co-pilot is in a bit of a panic, and looking.
Right. Like your co-pilot, you're not pilot, and your pilot couldn't handle it. You think you're better than your pilot right now? No, you don't.
You can make an admin plus intellect or education check.
Okay. Admin plus intellect. Okay. Survey says.
Damn, nice. So pulling up this co-pilot, his duty jacket. This guy hasn't even been a pilot for very long. He actually was a deckhand who was trained to be a pilot like maybe 6 months ago. So he's not the most skilled, and he's never been in a situation like this. So he's kind of panicking.
Oh, maybe he could take a moment and patch the fucking suit of his pilot.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. Before you try and fly back here, get your pilot stable, get the pilot stable, maybe get that. Do the ships have like auto sealing bulkheads or anything to like close up if they get like a puncture on a windshield or whatever? Or a blast shield or whatever the hell they're called.
So I'm sorry, what do you want to do?
If there's a piece of ice that like went through the quote unquote windshield of the ship, right?
Yes.
Do these ships have like any kind of like auto sealing if like you were to remove the obstruction?
Technically, yes. But it's kind of limited. It wouldn't be able to auto seal that.
Okay. Then
And it would be easier to so if you here, I'll show you what the deck plan of a boat looks like. Again,
stabilize the captain.
so this compartment here is compromised, but
Gotcha.
I mean you've got this
from another.
You've got this space back here. It would be easier to move him than it would be to get that big chunk of ice out of the windshield.
And then they pilot the ship from a different area.
Probably not, but I mean, he could get him back here and perform first aid or whatever, and keep the guy alive.
Okay, so if he can start it, get it directed towards us, just to have the ship heading towards us, we'll take care of like a tethering or getting it pulled in, get the captain out of that corridor and into the other one, seal it up, get first aid going. That's kind of what I want to pass on to him.
Okay, go ahead and make your choice, either leadership or persuade plus social.
Leadership. Yeah, I do have some leadership. And I have percent. Let's see which one is better. Leadership is just a straight roll. And persuade. Where the fuck is persuade? but they were. Persuade would be better, slightly.
So I did hear from Will. He apologized.
Yeah?
He got called away, had to rush to the hospital. I guess his mom, who's been in the hospital, came down with this flu that's going around, and so he had to rush in. And
Oh shit! Well, yeah, that's totally understandable.
yeah, no, I told him. I said I hope she's better,
Same. Yeah.
or that she's going to be okay. So he is still freaking out.
Right. Well, like, take a deep breath, calm the shit down, get yourself together, pull it together. Is he one of our soldier ones, or is he one of our not soldier ones?
That's a good question.
That will definitely
Probably he probably isn't. He probably came from the corporate sector.
Okay. Like, look, man, you got this, but I need you to get yourself together first. You got this, giving him all the encouragement. Take a deep breath for me. Focus on one task at a hand.
I mean, Bocephus could try some psychology on him, but let me take a look at this again. What did I say? So back over here. I didn't say what this was. So one of these hexes is 3.5 kilometers. So from Revelation, 98 kilometers. I don't know if Bocephus has any psionic. What's the distance on telepathy? Long. It is long. Psionic skill bands. Ugh. 51 to 250 meters. So that ain't great. He would need.
No.
You would need. Distance.
Well,
so you need to spend an extra 2 psionic points in order to, if you want to do something like telepathy to calm this shit down. Or you could try a psychology.
I've got to be psychology.
Okay.
What I want to try.
Okay.
Do I get to use education with it?
Yes.
Oh hell yeah! Then that's an 11.
Okay. So so what are you saying to this guy? Get it together, man.
No.
He's gonna talk to him like the psychologist from Grosse Point Blank. I told you to stop calling me. You're not my patient anymore.
I tell him just to take a moment and breathe, take a deep breath and release it slowly. And while he's doing that, I want him to picture himself successfully patching his companion's back suit, and then I want him to stay calm and just know that it's gonna be okay. We've been through much more dangerous situations before, and it's imperative that you preserve the air for your pilot, and help will be there shortly.
Okay.
We're coming, and we're just gonna breathe heavy for a while first.
So he's working on patching. He's working on patching Orland's suit, and he says, "Oh my God, there's so much blood."
Ignore the blood. Seal the suit.
Okay.
Yeah, the blood is just a color, a liquid. Picture it as water. We're mostly water.
So, what are you guys doing? Are you going to board a ship to get out there, and who are you racing to first?
Well, we've got one that's self-inflicted and another one that was, injured in the line of duty, where it's got more people and lives at stake with the other one. So I think we should go try to stop with the one that's currently spiraling out of control with people on tethers and shit.
So Lynn's boat.
Yeah, that's
I think
what I think.
if we can get one of the other crews to kind of make a controlled approach to the one that's coming back and maybe kind of link up with them and guide them back to Deepnight, just give command like, hey, can you get over to that ship and make a controlled approach, link up and get them back.
Okay.
Preferably somebody
Don't
with.
rush over, just do it nice and controlled.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this boat responds that they will attempt to get over to Orland's boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not going to have any problem with that. They're heading that way. So then the question for you guys heading for Lynn's boat, what ship are you taking? Are you taking a scout? Are you taking like Desinex? Are you taking a pinnace? Or are you taking another utility boat? It's dealer's choice.
Well,
What do you guys want?
I think the Desinex is got more mass than the little boat that they're on, right? Would it be
Yes.
easier to wrangle it in control that way?
Well, I can tell you this. I mean, Pappy would know this just watching this because you're able to get some feed from Lynn's helmet as she's floating out there watching this utility boat. And there's no way, it doesn't matter what ship you take, there's no way that Pappy's going to be able to dock, because if he does dock, a couple of things are going to happen. Either if he attempts to dock, he's going to either hit some of those guys on tethers that are swinging around the ship, and that's going to probably prove fatal. Or if he docks and he stops the ship from spinning, the guys that are rotating on the tethers are not going to stop rotating, and they're going to spin around everything
Like a tether ball.
Right, like a tether ball, and they're immediately going to slam into the ships and become goo. So the only way getting over to gain control of Lynn's boat, somebody's going to have to jump in a spacesuit and land on the boat, get inside, and repair whatever's broken so that they can gain control of the ship.
Pappy's down. Because
Yeah.
even once the repair's made, still going to have to do some expert piloting.
Right.
Yep. All right. Then we need someone to drive us so we can make this jump.
All right. So what? So back to the question: what ship do you want to take? I mean, you could take that. You could take the scout. It doesn't matter.
I mean, I'm cool with the Desnex just because that's the one we're familiar with and it's what we normally do.
Okay. Put you on the board.
Yeah, I'm down with that. Best to be in the ship you know well than to be in a ship you just know.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And if I remember correctly, and I probably do, I think it has thrust 4. All right. Pappy, go ahead and make a piloting plus dex check.
Piloting plus dex. And that's small craft, right?
No, this would be spacecraft.
That starship?
Or starship, yes. Nice.
So when I said I wanted to pilot a ship, I knew what I meant was I want to pilot a ship I know. Get me in my ship.
All right. All right. So, yes, it has thrust 4. You can move it 4 hexes in the direction towards, I guess you're going towards Lynn's boat.
Wait, which one are we?
You're all the way.
Oh, where the hell over here? I see us. I didn't say this at first. I was like, where the shit are we? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And then for the next, are you gonna keep going 4? Because if you're gonna keep the thrust at 4, do another thrust for bump. That means you'll move 8. So,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes.
okay. So the only problem, let's
2,
see.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because that should still keep us outside of any of the debris and stuff until the slow burn. Once we do the slow burn, then I'll worry about that stuff.
So you're probably going to want to do a slow burn now, or else you're going to run into her.
Yeah, this turn I'm doing a slow burn, yeah.
Okay, so you're reducing by 4?
Yes.
Okay. You can move towards her
4,
another
right?
4.
Okay.
Because you're basically flipping around and thrusting the opposite direction and kind of moving towards her backwards, which leaves.
But I'm happy, not one of these semi-decent pilots.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you're going to want to reduce by another 2.
Yeah, that was the plan.
Go
Was
ahead.
that going to do 3?
So go ahead and you could reduce by 3.
If we're at 4, or no, 2, yeah, by 2, because then I move 2.
Yep, then you'd move forward 2.
Stay at 2 for this one.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and move
Then
forward another 2. And
do a
then
reduce.
reduce speed and come to a
Yeah.
stop.
Pretty much exactly,
So you
yeah.
just move forward 1.
Exactly.
So, okay. Time for some thrilling heroics. So, who's suiting up to jump?
I've got to. People need medical attention.
That's
Oh, yeah, we
probably
need
true.
a doctor. I mean, is it just the 2 of us in my ship, or did we have somebody else to kind of keep the ship steady while we did this?
Well, I mean, the ship, I mean, its autopilot will do station keeping.
Okay, so then autopilot, because I feel like once he gets them stable, I'm still going to have to be able to pilot this ship and do a controlled deceleration so that those guys don't become squished on the side of the hole.
Right.
So it looks like both of us are going a la that movie with the
Sounds fun. Yeah.
flying in the space in the suits.
I am going to use.
the 3 guys that are out on tethers are now considered to be injured, meaning their endurance is at 0 from getting pummeled with ice chunks.
Makes sense.
And one of them has a major suit breach.
Anyway, well, hopefully we'll get all 3 saved, but it looks like it might just be 2.
At this point, it's just a matter of numbers, man.
I mean, like, let's be real here.
Yeah. I want to do the awareness skill inspiration
Okay.
before I go, so I need to make a check. I did get my 8 check. It'll give me +2 on my jump roll.
Okay.
You know,
All right.
for when we jump. You know.
Okay. What kind of suits are you wearing? Are you wearing your hazard environment suits, or what are you doing? Just regular vac suits, which most everybody else is.
I'm using my hazard suit that I normally go in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The suit that we're used to. Nothing too light, nothing too heavy. Just the regular, like, get us there. It's got some protection.
Yeah, it's got pretty good protection for a vac suit. All right. Go ahead and. So, what does it say? It says a difficult vac suit plus dex check. So,
Okay.
So, I'm going to alter that. If it's still difficult, it's going to be 10 plus. But if you would like, you can use athletics dex plus dex rather than vac suit plus dex. It's up to you.
That's a 2. I'm gonna use the vac suit because it's a higher
Josephus
roll.
made it. Okay, that's fine.
I used vac suit. What I used. Vac suit 1 plus my
Oh no.
+2 for inspiration.
So
Was that supposed to add anything to that roll?
so it'd be vac suit plus dex.
That's what that was.
Okay. So I'm sorry. So we got two chances here. First of all, Pappy can make an athletics dex plus dex check.
Athletics dex now, okay.
Oh my god, you made it. So you jump and you overshoot and kind of roll over the side, and just as and you're realizing like, oh shit, I missed, and so now you're going to be flying off into space. And at the last second, you reach out and you grab one of the tether lines,
Hell yeah.
and you're fairly close to the ship, but you are spinning. So now you will need, well, really depends. So you are spinning, so there's centrifugal force that's pulling you away from the ship as you're hanging on to this line for dear life. But Cephas, is there anything that you would like to do?
I made my jump. I'm gonna
Profession Belter help me here at all?
yeah.
Possibly, yes.
So, like, I'm probably used to shit going wrong.
Yes, probably.
Okay, so when it comes back to me, I'll be ready for that.
I want to pull in the severely injured guy first.
Okay. So you're gonna start reeling in his line.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and make a. This one is going to be either it's going to be 2d plus your strength modifier, or it's going to be athletics strength plus strength. Your choice. It depends on if you even have athletics.
Oh, I have athletics, but I mean it's 2D. Six.
So you are trying to reel him in, and I mean, it's like I said, centrifugal force is a bitch, and you're having a hard time.
All right. Is that the end of my turn until I come up with something next time, or do I keep going?
Well, Pappy, you can go ahead and make a profession belter plus intellect check.
Intellect. Oh, wait. Wrong one. Almost clicked the wrong one. This one.
Okay, yeah, you smoked that roll. So, have you guys ever seen?
There's a reason I asked if that was going to be helpful.
Have you ever seen an auto zip?
Yeah.
For climbing.
Yeah.
Pappy, being a belter, probably would have thought to bring one of these for the tethers. He reaches down on his belt and he slaps this auto zip on and hits the button, and it goes and pulls him back to the ship. And you're able to clamber on. And you are now out of danger on the surface of the ship, as Bocephus is sitting there on the other side trying to pull this guy in. Meanwhile, and this is actually a pretty good photo or picture, because you got to figure, you guys are standing at the central point of this as it's spinning around. So
Gonna look like chaos.
Oh yeah, it's good. Somebody's probably gonna puke in their helmet. Bocephus, what do you want to do?
I want to take a tether line and tether it to their terror line, and then head to the dock, to the airlock, bringing that line with me.
Okay.
And and then I'm going to try to find, I'm going to open up the airlock and go in there, in there in the little hole, and I'm going to try to use like something as a fulcrum or something like that to give me a boost of strength, scientifically,
Okay.
physics,
Okay. Yeah, you're using physics.
yeah, and try to pull the fucker in that way.
Okay.
Everybody can't be fancy with fucking gadgets and shit like Pappy.
So, so this guy's injury, he's now seriously injured from vac suit failure.
Mm-hmm.
His endurance is 0, and both strength and dex are at half value.
Fun times.
Yes, and
Before I go in the ship, can I give him my zip tool? He's like, here, take this. You'll need it.
you could.
Well, there's 3 people out tethered floating around.
Yeah, but I'm going to focus on getting the ship under control to hopefully negate.
That might be a good idea. Yeah. You can hand me your zip gun. I'll shoot people with it.
It's just a big pen. So no other suit. There's no other suit breaches, but he gives you his auto zip, and go ahead and you can make another. Let's see. Well, I mean, if you're using the auto zip, you could just pull him in.
I'm pulling him in.
Okay, so you pull this guy in. He is beat to shit, but you get him into the airlock. Did you want to? I mean, he's in the airlock. You could shut the door and cycle some air, or you could just immediately try to perform.
No,
First
I
aid.
got to get him in there and strip him down.
Okay, so you're moving him into the ship. Pappy, what are you going to try to do? You're still on the outside of the ship.
All right, I'm going to get inside the ship too, because the goal was to give him the zip tool before going in the ship.
Right.
So I'm going to be inside the ship. I'm going to get inside the ship.
Okay. So there are still 2 people flinging around on the outside.
My goal is to get the ship under control.
All right. So, getting into this tumbling boat, there are a number of, there are at least 2 major malfunctions. The first being that maneuver drive is currently down, and the second being that power is down.
I've been a pilot long enough. I'm sure I can deal with the power outage.
Okay. Go ahead. Well, first of all, let's see what you've got here. You have... There are 2 spares aboard. Spares are used for making repairs. So 1 spare would be used to repair power. You would make a engineering power plus your choice, either intellect or education.
I don't have any sub-engineering, just basic engineering, so it'd be engineering intellect.
Correct.
Okay. Shit.
No, you did it.
Oh.
So Pappy gets to work working on working on the power system. Bocephus, do you want to perform first aid on this guy? What are you doing?
I'm doing medical shit on this motherfucker here, stripping him down and trying to do my thing.
Okay, so you get a +2 for your medic kit, and you can make a medic plus intellect or education. I guess in this case it would be education. Whoa, look
17.
at that crap. Holy shit. So, let's see here. Yeah, you are able to get his strength and dex back up. You kind of shoot him full of painkillers and pull out that staple gun and just start cinching him up. And you've got a thermal blanket around him and getting him warm. His endurance is still 0, but his strength and dex are back. He's going to be okay. He'll pull through.
Good.
He'll probably need a couple days, bed rest.
I'm gonna give him a sedative and put him in a thing to go to my personal surgery area.
Okay, so yeah, you're once you get back to the ship, you're sending him to your med bay.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Pat. You're standing there, and the lights go click, 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 and everything starts to come back on, and you can hear the drives kind of go, and they're having a problem. Pappy, the next one would be to make an engineering maneuver drive plus intellect or education.
Great engineering check it is.
You're having a problem with this one, and you're now out of spares. But that's not necessarily the end of it. But because you could pull parts from other sections to use as makeshift parts, it'll make it it'll take a little bit longer. But Bocephus, you see Pappy's having a problem getting the maneuver drive back up and running.
Man, that's his job. He'll figure it the fuck out. I'm gonna go yank the next mother in.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I trust Pappy. He'll if we die, well, it's fun rolling characters.
Okay, so you pull in the another crew member. This one has been pummeled by rocks, and they do have they as you're reeling them in, you see a chunk of rock zing their leg and just tears open their suit, major breach. Which then causes them to be seriously injured.
Yeah, that problem fixes itself when we get inside.
Right, that's true. So you pull him in and shut the airlock, and you cycle it, and you get him into the common area. Pappy, you can go ahead and make a engineering. Actually, in this case, you can make a mechanic plus intellect or education to pull out a spare part from something else.
Like, all right, let's screw this. We're just going with this over here.
Okay, so you take apart the microwave, and you're going to use components from the microwave oven in the common area to basically attempt to fix the grav plates in the maneuver drive. Pappy, first aid again?
I'm not Pappy, but
or,
yeah.
I'm sorry, not Pappy. Bocephus.
Right. Oh, there we go. That's 12.
Ooh, nice. So this particular individual. I mean, you have stabilized them, but they are in need of surgery. They've got they've got some major internal bleeding and fractures. They're stabilized for now.
Well, flag this one to go to my surgical bay.
Okay. I'm just going to put a big red X on this one's forehead.
Well, I mean, might have to scrap them for parts. But,
scrap them
for it's okay. I mean, I can fix them and make them stronger.
That's true. All right. Pappy. Engineering plus intellect.
Alrighty, this time I got this shit.
Oh, look at that. Yes, the parts from the microwave gets the M drive up and running, and you now can gain control of the ship. So, Bocephus, are you pulling in the last poor fucker that's out there swinging around?
Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. So this one is also seriously injured with a major suit breach as well, and you get them in. Yep. Okay.
That's a 10.
They are also going to need surgery, pretty badly. They are beat up.
Awesome. Hell yeah.
I got some cutting to do.
I got some, modifications.
All right, so Pappy, what's your plan? Are you going to dock with Desinex and then just fly both these ships back, or how are you doing this?
I've got this ship under control.
Mm-hmm.
I am gonna dock with Destinex so that it's at least like they're linked up. I'm gonna get back in Destinex because it's probably the better ship. This one's limping along, whereas that one's in good condition. I don't trust this one to not have something else go wrong with it.
Yes. Yes. All right, go ahead and make a piloting plus dex check. And this would be piloting small craft plus dex. Okay, so docking is a routine procedure now that you have it under control. And so you bring this thing up, you retract the swings, and you dock with Desinex. And so you can move all of the crew or any injuries back to Desinex if you want, or I don't know, may not be a good idea to move them, but
I think we're just going to leave them where they're at, and I'm going to assess what body parts will be replaced on all three of them.
And also go grab homegirl that's still floating out in space.
Okay, so you're going to go grab
Oh. Yeah,
All right.
I do. I need to get her, don't I? Pappy's flying.
She's floating. She doesn't have a line attached. She's just floating.
That's
So
true.
I'm gonna do
Oh, yeah, then you have to fly over there to pick her up.
So,
Yep.
Pappy, go ahead and make another piloting plus dex check.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Starship, right?
Correct. Okay, so you are able to go over and get to her, Bocephus is able to pull her in via the cargo airlock down below. Bocephus, go ahead and make a medic plus education check.
$12.
So she is, still a stone cold professional. You get her into the cargo hold, and she's gritting her teeth through the pain. You kind of go over her, and you realize that her leg is broken much worse. Her injury is much worse than she told you. I mean, of course, she's not a doctor. She's an EVA specialist.
Yeah.
She's going to require surgery, maybe a couple of surgeries to repair it. And you're thinking that it's possible that she may always walk with a limp.
No, that's not what I'm thinking at all.
You think I'm just going to cut it off and replace it.
I'm just going to replace the fucking leg, man. And if I'm replacing one, it needs to match the other one. So 2 new legs. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we're going to pick this up next week at 7 o'clock on Friday night with... I do have one other thing. Let's see. It says... 2 and 6. Holy shit, he fucking made it. So the other boat reports that they got Orland back, and Orland has been rushed into the OR, and prognosis is good. He's going to survive.
Okay,
Excellent.
well, that's wonderful.
He had a 2 in 6 chance and rolled a 1. Perfect.
Well, that was as good as we could want, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. I mean, doesn't get much better than that. So we will pick this up next week at 6 o'clock on Friday night.
All right. Well, thank you. That was
Thanks,
pretty
sir.
fun.
You are very
That was
welcome.
fun, a little space exploration and crapness.
Yes, there's
Yeah.
got to be a little bit of
Good
crap.
rolls, a couple bad rolls, keep things interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So I will.
Oh yeah.
I will see you both tomorrow for Brawnhaven.
Have a good night.
You too.
Night.